We're going live in three, two, one. Excellent. We are here. Howdy there, true believers. Welcome back to Neural Nerds. I'm Superman Nico. And in this live stream, we will be talking about The Mandalorian, Chapter 13, The Jedi, Season 2, Episode 5. And with me is my trusted, lucky pet, Mike Ross. Mike Ross, say hello.
Hello. Hello there.
That was a perfect setup and you ruined it, but it's okay. General Ross. Oh, that's actually now that's actually a Marvel character. You're a bold one. So just go ahead and give people a background. Before we get started, we'll just give you some broad strokes of the episode, saying like what we thought and all that good stuff. But for now, Mike, why don't you just tell people your relationship with Star Wars?
I guess I've pretty much watched everything. I haven't
Everything.
gotten deep into except for the new holiday special and
Oh,
the old
I
holiday special.
haven't even watched the Lego one. Is that good?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. I was like, I'm gonna wait till Christmas, and then, oh yeah.
So then you can feel very festive when you watch it.
Yeah, but I've watched, I guess, all the Star Wars movies except Solo, and then all the Dave Filoni stuff.
Oh my gosh, you haven't watched Solo? Unsubscribe. Nah, it's cool. I watched Solo.
Yeah, I heard it was bad.
It's
So
not. I don't
maybe.
think it's bad. It's just like uneventful. It doesn't feel epic like a Star Wars movie should. And I'm not saying that you
Yeah.
can't make a good Star Wars movie with it being smaller in scale, because you definitely can. But I don't know. It just that wasn't it. And I always had like stuff going into that relationship with Han and Chewie that I would like, beats I wanted them to hit and they didn't, because everyone felt like it was, and it's a man and his dog, right? But I would love if they flipped it on its head where Han Solo's the dog, because he already lives less than what Chewie, like human years are like dog years to a Wookiee. So I was just like, flip it on its head. Han Solo is actually the one who owes Chewie, and we never know what Chewie says. But every time Chewie says, okay, we got to do this, that's what they go do. Like, Han's like, I don't want to go back and help blow up the dang Death Star. What does that have to do? How many credits is that going to give me? But then Chewbacca's like, dude, come on, dude. It's going to be super chill, bro.
Oh, Han's a dog.
Yeah, Han's the dog. I think I like my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
A little scoundrel.
All right. So I don't know if I've ever even said my relationship with Star Wars, but I don't remember a time where I hadn't seen Star Wars. So I feel like that's all you need to know. Like I watched Star Wars, I watched everything except for except for the Dave Filoni stuff. So take that from what you will. I watched some things of Rebels, some things of Clone Wars, but mainly just people talking about it and just being like, oh man, that's cool. So I know like all the beats that they hit. Like I know where all the characters end up. And that's about it. So, roast me. I don't care. Anyway, so let's go ahead and kick off with the episode. I thought it was pretty great. I had a great time with it. I think 3 solid episodes in a row. Not that the first 2 were bad. I think the first one was really good, and the second one was kind of felt like a bottle episode with them on that frozen tundra. Practically, they're just in Wisconsin, I think. They crash land on the planet of Wisconsin, and they get all frozen and the hull breaks and all that good stuff, get attacked by ice spiders. But I think that these last 3, especially the last 2 probably, I felt have been super action-packed and kind of, they feel like small Star Wars movies. What says you? Hello? Michael, are you still there? Did we lose him?
Keep cutting out on my end.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, now I can hear you.
Yep.
But I was just saying that. I was just saying that the last 2 episodes have felt like small Star Wars movies. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, like a lot of these episodes are kind of in a bottle, and then right at the very end, it's like, oh, actually, we're going to this place, and these people know we're going there too.
Yeah.
To kind of connect them while still being like little bottle episodes, which I kind of like.
Yeah, this one kind of ends on like okay, this was your task, right? This is kind of what the stakes were set up in a couple episodes ago, and then now you're kind of on another quest, which I wasn't a huge fan of, I think, by the end of it. But before we get too much into it, I think that they are very small, Star Wars movies, and even the beginning of this one, probably more because of the content than anything else. But it felt like a fan film almost. The way that the cold open was shot, and I say that like as a compliment. I say that like it being really awesome. It's shot almost like a horror movie there at the beginning. So I'm just going to go ahead and put up the spoiler wampa now. We're just going to talk about complete spoilers. But we got right away, and this was my fear, is that we were going to barely get any Ahsoka in that episode, but we got a lot of Ahsoka, which was really sweet. So it opens up with Ahsoka and her dual bladed white sabers, and I love the way they sound. I thought they were really cool, but she just looked like a badass.
I mean, I haven't watched Rebels in a long time, so I can't remember how she's supposed to be, but I know in like one episode she's kind of going toe to toe with Vader, so I guess you're gonna get that vibe that she's seen some shit.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you could tell that whenever it was brought up that she should be training Baby Yoda. So you could definitely see that. You see the PSD in her eyes, the hesitancy, just because of what happened with Anakin and all that stuff. But speaking of Vader, and yeah, she definitely goes toe to toe with Vader. You never really see who gets the upper hand. You see them both like blow up in a sense, but oh my gosh, there's some people talking in the chat already. I read it. My bad. It just caught me off guard. So yeah, so you never really see who wins that match, but obviously Vader leaves, and then Ahsoka kind of gets ripped from. And for spoilers for Rebels, she gets ripped through time. Ezra pulls her out of that timeline and brings her to the present. It's really weird. Only time they've ever done time travel in the Star Wars universe or in the main canon universe, so it's really weird. But I thought that beginning, that cold open, was definitely reminiscent of Vader's scene in Rogue One, kind of in the shadows. All you could really make out is her lightsaber. And I thought, like, for those guards, that was pretty scary for them because they got schmurdered. They got taken out. They got sliced through.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, oh, it'd be sick to have a Star Wars horror movie. Or
Yeah, exactly. Or I know some people have been wanting this. They were like a Vader solo movie. It was like, have you not watched the first 6 Star Wars movies? Those are all his movies. But a good like origin, I guess not origins, a good solo movie for him would be like in between 3 and 4, Darth Vader, the Jedi Hunter. And that could definitely be like a horror kind of movie. You can even make a movie about or like a short series about like Star Killer, like Galen Merrick from the Force Unleashed franchise, like where Vader's like hunting him and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool.
yeah, like just I like how Fallen Order is at the very end, where it's just you're basically just running from him. You can't do anything.
You can't do anything because the cannon. He's protected by the cannon. But I felt like the beginning of it, because it was kind of dark, but I felt like I got reminded of the Battle of Winterfell in Game of Thrones, but you could actually see stuff. Like they actually had the settings right on the camera whenever they shot it.
Yeah, I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, there was a part where the White Walkers were attacking and everybody hated it because they couldn't see anything. Like like everybody watching, they're like, "Well, fix the settings on your TV." It's like, or maybe just do it right, so we don't have to. We don't have to mess with
Twitter.
Oh, there you go. Well, then you know everything you need to know about it. So just quickly in the chat, I saw something. It said, David, the backyard UFOologist. What happened to Ahsoka? She was pretty, but now SMH, SMH, sure, it's some PC crap. I don't know what's PC about how Ahsoka Tano looks. I guess because she's a live action person in this. I don't know. Did you pick up any of those vibes?
No, I mean, everyone wanted Rosario Dawson for a reason.
Yeah. She's pretty sick. I really enjoyed her. I thought maybe as someone who didn't watch a lot of the Clone Wars or Rebels, I wasn't taken aback by the voice because I know that would happen like with Harley Quinn or something like that from the Batman animated series. Yeah. So when it's not Tara Strong, you kind of like take aback by it, like, oh, that's not really her. But how did you feel about it as someone who watched the Clone Wars?
Yeah, I was kind of like, this doesn't sound quite right, but also I don't really remember Rebels too much. She
Hmm.
wasn't in it a lot, so I'm like going off of the most recent stuff I've seen of her is like, oh my gosh, she's so different. But
Yeah.
then I'm like, it's probably different in Rebels too, so it's probably pretty accurate knowing it's Dave Filoni.
Yeah, exactly. He obviously is someone who really cares about stuff like that, the canon, the universe, and all that good stuff. But also in my Clone Wars, she's probably like a late teenager, early 20s, right?
Yeah, she's like probably like 18 at
Hmm. And
during
so
Revenge of the Sith.
that's why like Rosario Dawson's obviously not 18. So I was just like, well, she's obviously like how I'm trying to think of how long it would be from the Clone Wars. It's about 30 years, probably something like that. So she'd end up being, a lot older. Obviously, age is weird in Star Wars because uh, I don't because everyone's on a different planet and aliens and Obi-Wan can age 50 years in 10 years or in 18 years, but who's counting? He just forgot to wear sunblock, and there's two suns on that planet. So I said what I said. I felt like it was like a fan film. Obviously, you can think of it as that because Dave Filoni directed it, and who's a bigger Star Wars fan than him. But it felt like it was a fan film with a movie budget. Definitely dug the opening. It turns out the magistrate was a formidable foe, but she wasn't anybody from like the extended universe. It didn't seem, but definitely could be because we found out who her master was. I don't know if you know anything about that.
I don't know anything about her, but probably if I Googled, like, she was in this one comic about,
Yeah, how didn't you know she was in Dark Horse comic number 36?
she
I was
was
like,
in Vader issue 72.
yeah, you fucking idiot. She was in the Thrawn novel, bro. She was his assistant who got him the coffee.
That probably makes sense, actually.
Yeah,
I can
then
see
she was
it.
about to drop the coffee, and then she used the force to stop the coffee from falling. Boom, we just wrote a Thrawn novel. Mando and Yoda arrive on Corvus. That's where the episode gets kicked off. Hey, we're here because light speed. The child is a little shit, is what I wrote in my notes, because he's always just he just gets whatever he wants. And no one ever tells him no. I was listening to Fat Man on Batman with Kevin Smith, and they're like, what will his first words be? And it'll be like, they're like, this is the way, or may the force be with you. I was like, no, those are whole last phrases. His first word's going to be no, or don't touch that. Like, because he's a little baby.
Or mine.
Yeah, exactly. Mine, something like a baby would say, because but apparently he's already said his first words. So there was a little callback. I know I told you to like comb for Easter eggs, but I found one myself. When the Razor Crest was landing, I saw there was that one guy tracking it, but I don't know, it's pre-Empire, all
Oh,
that, whatever.
yeah.
But I was like, it's a callback to Yavin 4 from A New Hope, right? The
Yeah,
little the little ship tracking, and I only remember it probably
yeah.
because of the Family Guy Star Wars, where the guy's like pew pew, gotcha. It's the only reason I remember it. Did you find any Easter eggs?
Um, no. I guess figured out that Ahsoka forgot about Yaddle.
Yeah, yeah, but she might have never met Yaddle
I mean,
because
she's
she only
on.
showed up in episode 1. She could have had a heart attack, a stroke, a space force stroke, and never showed up again. We don't know what happened to Yaddle. We only saw her in the Jedi Council in episode 1, and Ahsoka Tano wouldn't have showed up until after episode 2. You don't think Dave Filoni thought of this?
Oh,
The
sorry, I had to
Filonster.
pull up her
Yeah.
Wikipedia. Yeah, she died.
Oh no,
Or
Yaddle's dead. No, no. So do you think I have a theory about Yaddle, and I have no idea if this is true or not? But like, I think that they were gonna go like for like a young Yoda look, and they're like, "Ew, Yoda looks terrible with hair. Let's just put this one over to the side," and they just use like a regular Yoda puppet.
like, it's Yoda as a lady.
Yeah, this Yoda's a girl lady. Yeah, and they're like, and then the first one of the first Star Wars fans is just like, well, did he fuck it? No, he didn't. I don't think that he's celibate. Maybe. I mean, it's so far, anyways. No one's ever
I saw him
asked.
going. I saw him going to town on R2D2.
Just beating it. Anyways, so Mando, in regular old bounty hunter fashion, walks into the town, and everybody's just eyeing his Beskar. Maybe we should just put some paint over it or something. I know it wouldn't look aesthetically pleasing, but I mean, everyone, it just puts a big old target on him. Maybe just put some paint on it. Maybe do anything else. Maybe have any other kind of armor.
Yeah,
Because he's got
make it
the.
look
Huh?
chrome. Don't make it chrome where you stick out everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, "Ooh, that looks nice." Like, no, it's
Really?
actually definitely not Beskar. I was so Beskar could like fend off a lightsaber, and I found the answer.
Yeah, I think they invented Beskar for that sole reason, was just to fight off Jedi.
The
If you
Mandalores.
if you look back in Legends,
If you look back in Legends, actually, it's because the blacksmith sneezed and actually dropped the Beskar into the lightsaber's mouth. I don't know. And the magistrate tries to hire Mando, and then he's like, "Oh, this is perfect. Where can I find this stupid, dumb Jedi?" And then it all works out for him. He never agrees to buy any pure Beskar. Why does she have it? Who knows? Doesn't matter. She's special, kind of. And then Mando goes to the coordinates. It can't be any easier than that. And Ahsoka jumps him, and he seems pretty frazzled right away. So I was like, Ahsoka held her own against Mando, but she could probably beat him, it felt like.
yeah, I was like, what if she just killed him?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, she's just going to slice him in half and be like, "Hey, baby, yo, what are you doing here? I know you." But I was like, oh, she actually met Yoda. This would be good. Someone knows some shit that we know. Finally, so someone can scream it at Mando because all these fanboys, including myself, have been yelling it at the Mandalorian through the screen. Somebody finally could be like, "Hey, this," and then that was awesome. So she definitely held her own against him. Probably would totally kill him. And he's just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Bo-Katan, the other extended universe, Clone Wars stuff. Don't hurt me." And then she's like, "Oh yeah, there's also a little baby over there." And she was,
Filoni?
huh?
Do you remember Filoni?
You remember Filoni? Is that code for a sex thing? I don't understand. And
Just, it's all Dave Filoni stuff.
no, it was a joke. I was saying,
Oh,
yeah, because they don't know who that is. Because real world.
I bet they do.
I bet they do. That's
Oh.
their father. That's their Faja.
I found another Easter egg that I just remembered.
What is it?
That the capital of whatever planet they're on is just matches the Lothal's capital from Rebels.
Aha! I didn't catch that because I don't know what that is. But great catch, nonetheless. I don't remember what
That's
I
your
saw.
fun fact.
That's our fun fact. And so we get Ahsoka meditating with Baby Yoda, and we get the reveal of the child's name. So now everybody can yell that he's not Baby Yoda anymore. And now we don't have a defense because now Baby Yoda has a name. The child has a name, and it is Grogu. Any thoughts on the name?
I don't know what it would have been if I were to pick it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that sounds like a Star Wars name. That's pretty good.
I was like, oh,
So as long as it's not Kyle, you know.
wow. I'm still going to call him Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I know. There's no way. It's just like next stream, if we are still calling him Baby Yoda, shots every time we say Baby Yoda instead of Grogu. It's all good, man. I thought his backstory is very interesting. We get to know more about him. Would have loved to seen a flashback. That would have been cool, but that's fine. We'll be fine without the flashback.
So Anakin missed one.
It's like, Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. Hey, where'd my friend Grogu go? I miss Grogu. Oh, man. But somebody snuck him out. And you know what? Since it's Dave Filoni, Darth Maul. Darth Maul snuck him out somehow. I don't know who else would.
Did they just say, fuck the other kids?
Yeah, I know, right? They're like, no, but I like this one. I
Use some Coruscant.
I thought honestly he was just like so he hid his powers, they said, to hide but from the Empire. But I was like, is it maybe Palpatine would keep tabs on something with such a high metachlorian count because he's all about like not dying. Um, so I don't know, man. I thought that there was something there. Maybe Palpatine was just like, I'm gonna put this one in somewhere else. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know who else it could have been. Maybe somebody stole the plans. They did it like in an episode of Clone Wars or something. It's like they stole a baby, and nobody saw in the commotion.
Not sure, but I guess it makes sense that he's just been hiding it, and how the Empire already knew, like, had a tracking fob on him and everything.
Yeah. So he definitely came from the Empire, and I guess was stolen from them, and then stolen back by Mando, and then stolen back again by Mando. And now they were low jacked. Honestly, I thought he was going to come back and he was going to be gone from the ship. Like I thought they're like he was going to go like, all right, let me go get him, and then boom, gone.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Gideon took him again.
since they have a tracking beacon on
Yeah,
him.
since they're low jacked, and I thought that was how they were going to keep Ahsoka in the show, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like she won't come back immediately. But I don't think that's the last time we've seen her, even in this season.
Yeah, it'll be like the last couple episodes of last season where, all right, let's get the gang back together.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have Timothy Oliphant, uh, and then you're gonna have I don't know who else have they met so far. Boba Fett,
Uh,
the mechanic
Bo-Katan
lady.
and
Oh yeah, Bo-Katan. There you go. This giant ice spider's gonna make his return.
the
So
Asian pilot.
they Carson Teva, something
Um,
Wolf. I don't remember Dave Filoni's character.
I
But
just know
then
he's in some Canadian show me and Yasmin watch.
Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, he plays Abba.
I don't know. I haven't watched the show. I only know from other videos I've watched about the Mandalorian. So, but wow, they got him. And it turns out, so he's just a huge Star Wars fan. And then he just cosplays, goes to Comic Con, stuff like that. And they're like, hey, you're an actor. You want to be in the show? And he's like, dude, hell yeah. I'll fuck that show up, dude. I make it so good. Oh, and you got to get Cara Dune and Grieve Karga back.
Yeah.
And there you go. Boom. Gang's back together, baby. And also the pants pissing alien, Horatio Sands. You got to get the accountant back. So Ahsoka goes and tests Grogu and decides that she will not train him because she's got PTSD from Anakin Skywalker. And I was like, well, why don't you just be a better trainer? Like, I was waiting for the line, I am no Jedi. That's what I was waiting for, like, the whole episode because he kept on calling her one.
It's like even at the beginning, she's like, "Oh," she even corrected her. I was like, "Oh, well, she's been doing that for 3 seasons of
Yeah.
Rebels and Clone Wars." I'm like, "Well, now she just stopped."
Yeah.
She got sick and tired of saying it. Like, "Fine, I'll be a Jedi."
Whatever. We're back, baby. So I was just thinking, I don't know who else would find Baby Yoda because if they put out that beacon, like, are we going to see Luke Skywalker and does Kylo Ren just murder Baby Yoda? Grogu, I mean, like,
The other person I could think of was Luke.
because he's obviously looking for Force sensitive children. So I don't like at this time, and that's really like, and this episode made me realize I was like, isn't this what we were waiting for the sequel trilogy? Isn't it like these kind of stories like? And I feel like they're just constrained from those where those movies have to go. You know, those movies just restore the status quo of there's an empire and then these are the rebels, even though they're called the First Order of the Resistance. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is so much more interesting. Like with this power vacuum and all these other forces at work and all these characters that we know showing up and making an impact, not just like, oh, but they were here right off screen. You missed them.
I just feel like this is what people actually wanted.
Yeah. And so that's what it's like. Why is Dave Filoni not the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars universe? And I think he will be now after this. I hope.
Yeah.
Like,
Based on the success of all this, there's no way he can be.
It's
But
just like
they may just stick to TV shows.
maybe that's the thing. And but I do think they're going to do some kind of High Republic, Old Republic trilogy type deal. That's what the next ones are going to be. I mean, I think they'll all get pushed back, like everything's getting pushed back.
Yeah.
But I do think that's where they'll end up. Like go far enough away from the original trilogy to where people can't be mad. And then if it have to be prequels, that's fine. And I do think they'll eventually go back to the sequel, like make a sequel trilogy. Like I think that's probably the next step in the next 10 to 15 years because it's Disney, never say never. So there's definitely more stories to tell. But I just hate how they're always like, oh, but all the cool stuff happened in between the movies. You got to read the comic books and the other books and novels. Like, I hate that.
Yeah, I like Star Wars, but I want to read.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Oh, man. But some of the best, like some of my favorite Star Wars stuff is always the extended universe stuff. And they're always like, an Emperor Palpatine was watching behind the door. You missed it. or like in, episode 2, they're like, oh, Qui-Gon Jinn was there when he yelled no when Anakin was killing the sand people. I was like, we should just saw him then or something. Like, why we got to get...
Like, we know it can be a Force ghost, but...
Yeah. Like, let's see that shit, bro. Why didn't you...
just see him behind a sand shit.
Whoa, hey, dude. And they're like, dude, chill,
Hey,
bro.
yo.
He's like, all right, I'll chill. He's like, well, why didn't you say my mom? And I was like, because, bro, she's going to cost too much, bro. We don't have enough space on the ship, bro. And Qui-Gon Jinn's all about hitting and quitting it, bro. You don't think they celebrated after his win, bro? They definitely did. All right, so I thought it was very smart of Ahsoka to say that, but also I'm like, well, train him anyways, bro. Because one of my favorite parts of like the legend, what's Legends now, is that like there was a whole family of Jedis. Like I read a book that was like 30 years after the Return of the Jedi, and Luke was a Grand Master by then. Like he was basically Yoda's position in the prequels, and they're on Coruscant trying to get the Jedi like to be a part of the New Republic while the Imperial Remnant are there, while the New Republic's there. So there's all these forces at work, this power vacuum, and they're all just trying to figure out how to make it work. And they're like, well, not everybody in the Empire was bad because like we're just as bad as them. We just murder everybody from the Empire. So like how you have to work with these people, and like the new Jedi Order's there. So they're like, well, hey man, they totally like murdered all of us. So like we're not cool with them. So, like, there's all these forces at work. It's not just like good guys, bad guys, how it turned out to be in the sequels. And so there's this one family that are all Jedi. Mom's Jedi, dad's Jedi, all the kids are Jedi. And I was like, isn't that so cool? Like, I think the point is, like, they have to, like, the Jedi have to remember what they're fighting for. And if you tell them to suppress all those feelings that they have, all that love, like, of course, they're going to turn bad like Anakin did. So I think that was the point, is that the Jedi Order, the Jedi way was wrong. And that you need to change, and that never comes up in the movies. And I was hoping that Ahsoka, being like an in between, I don't want to say gray Jedi because apparently that's a bad word amongst Star Wars fans, but like this in between where she's not a Jedi and she's definitely not a Sith, but she's this other thing. And like let's focus on that. Like you can love the people that you love, but you have to be able to control it. And so train
like, and like she saw her, I guess, mentor and kind of like father figure all of a sudden murder a bunch of children.
One time, dude.
He didn't even get all of them.
Obviously. Yes, dude. Some of them were the clone troopers. That was Order 66, bro. It wasn't even him. Dude, he had a chip too, bro. Dang, dude. Imagine if they retcon that like Anakin was forced to do it.
Yeah, I would hate that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty shit.
I was like, no, he didn't mean to kill all those kids.
He thought those
He's not that bad of a guy.
Dude, Darth Vader was only force choking that guy because he was a bitch.
Because he was into that.
Yeah, he was into it, and then he just... Like Icarus, he flew too close to the sun. Okay, so the magistrate sounds like she worked for the Empire, right? She's there supplying medal for the Starfleet and all that good stuff. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But I guess people don't know that Emperor Palpatine was behind the Clone Wars as well. They think it was just the Jedi. So I was just like, okay, so you're just working for the guy that like fucked your shit up. But so that makes me think that she somehow will tie to Gideon, like because Gideon obviously has that like dreadnought-esque, that proto dreadnought kind of Star Destroyer. So I was like, is she supplying him still? Like, is that how Ahsoka's gonna get like back to teaming up with the Mandalorian? And with everybody else, with Bo-Katan, like, is that how like they're gonna get their ragtag team together to fight everybody? What do you think? Do you think there's any ties to Gideon?
Probably, because I think they're probably just gonna keep tracking him, going, following him behind him, planet to planet, and I guess Gideon will make an appearance there, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, he was over here a couple months ago." Wow.
Wow, man, that's crazy. But I talked about it last week. How I felt a lot of parallels to Gideon and Thrawn. And so I was like, do you think they'll bring him back for this show, for The Mandalorian, and then just throw him back through a portal to the unknown regions when the sequel trilogy starts?
I feel like they're just setting up the Ahsoka show
Yeah.
because like at the end of Rebels, her whole mission was like to find Ezra, who was with Thrawn.
They got
whenever
portal
they-
to the unknown regions, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, by like some space whales or something.
Of course, space whales. How could we forget? We all remember where we were when the space whales attacked.
Kind of like the whales from Futurama.
Oh, see, that's weird. It turns out they weren't space whales; they were time whales, and they went back in time.
4D whales.
4D whales. Yeah, you can smell them too. So I put Will Gideon tie them together. Will Thrawn return, which you're saying that's probably the Ahsoka show, and also Ezra. Could Ezra possibly could that be what brings him back, the beacon, and that brings him back to find Baby Yoda, and then they return to the unknown region, and they're back, baby, for Star Wars 10. They're like, hey, we were just over here in the corner, but now we're back. Where's Rey? We need to find Rey. She's the key or some shit. I just figured it out. I figured out chapter 10, bro. Episode 10.
There it is.
There it is, baby.
The sequel before the sequels.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know, there's gonna be like some in between quote. You know, there's gonna be episode 8.5 where we retcon everything. Actually, the magistrate, she's actually the one who built all those Star Destroyers. She wasn't killed in this episode. She was exiled to Exegol, this planet that we don't know about. She's just there working away, baby. Also, where'd they get all those people to man those ships? I don't know. This isn't a Rise of Skywalker podcast.
I will think about that.
It's like, where'd all those people, did all those fans in the stands, those weird cloaky guys, did they just banging in between all that? Raising these children? Where'd they get the rations? Where'd they get all this stuff? It's all stupid. All of it's stupid. Dave Filoni should have been in charge a long time ago. They're all just clones. Where did they go now? Did they just massacre all these people that were just raised to do this one thing?
No, they're clones.
Yeah. How come only the Kaminoans are good at cloning? Everybody else sucks. Or is it just no one else can clone a Force-sensitive person?
I think no one can. I don't know.
I bet the Kaminoans could if Emperor Palpatine didn't burn that bridge by killing them all and shit. By making them obsolete, by just like, we'll just take from the galaxy's youth. Why? You have these
explained
perfect...
it better last episode.
What?
Like how they're trying to clone Force-sensitive people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, though. I was just like, how come they have so much trouble doing that? And I was like, I guess they figure it out because Palpatine's back, baby. He's
Yeah,
back.
I'm like, if he already knew how to do it, then why are they all... I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? But what about Snoke? He made like, is that Snoke? Who do you think's in the tank? There you go. Hashtag who's in the tank, baby? Is it a Vader clone? Is it a Palpatine clone? Is it Snoke? Is it D Jar Jar Binks? Go ahead and call in. It's Jar Jar Binks. Do you have it? Dude, hashtag Darth Jar Jar. It was him, baby. I knew it. So, do you have anything else to say about this episode? Come on, hit me with it. What'd you think? Did you like Ahsoka in live action? Was it a little jarring? How was Grogu? All this good stuff.
I guess Ahsoka was a little jarring, just because I haven't watched Rebels in a while. So my last, I guess, taste of her was Clone Wars,
Nice.
where she's young and cocky. And that's like, oh, I've seen some shit. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, she has seen some shit, though.
yeah, but how much shit has she really seen?
Yeah, she's been. How come every time there's some shit to see, you just disappear? It's almost like nobody planned for you 50 years ago or whatever it was. It's like, oh, but then there's this cool lady. She like didn't like Luke. She never wanted to hang out with him or anything. But like, whoa, that was crazy. So, yeah, as someone who didn't really watch Clone Wars, I was like, this is awesome. Definitely Doug Rosario Dawson. Don't know when she'll come back. Like, I don't know what's happening the next couple episodes. If we're just going to have, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the next episode's like a bottle kind of episode, because the last three have been very action packed, very budget heavy, probably.
Yeah, I feel like they're like a bottle episode, and then the next episode is going to be like him at more of these Jedi temple stuff.
See, I feel like they won't even get that. Feels like they won't get to that until like maybe next season, because there's only 8 episodes, right?
I don't know.
I think because there's only 8 episodes in the first season, so I'm assuming there's only 8 episodes in this one. So I feel like bottle episode next time, or even maybe they get to the planet and that's all that happens. But I doubt it. The way the season's going, they kind of just don't do act. There's always like something in between. There's always a side quest to do. And then the last 2 episodes, I think, will be Moff Gideon, like kind of how season 1 was, like how he showed up at the end of the last one. They're like, oh man, we're really in it now. And then and then they fought him and thought they killed him and all that good stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if like it was the same kind of setup it was last year or last season, where they get a ragtag team together. Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, and then maybe Boba Fett shows up. He's just like, hey, where's my armor, bitch? That's my shit, dog. And then I don't know who else would show up, and then Gideon and all that good stuff. But I think you're right. I think this was like a backdoor pilot for the Ahsoka show. Now, do you think the Bo-Katan will stay? That story will stay with the Mandalorian? I think it will, just because of the Gideon ties. But I think that could be its own show, or is that something that would be like an Ahsoka show?
It'll probably be still the Mandalorian. I bet season 3 may just all be on Mandalore or something like that.
That'd be really cool. Like, do you think it ends with him, like, do you think he ever gets, like, the Darksaber and leads the Mandalorian at all?
Probably not, because I've seen all the other Mandalorians and they're way better than him.
Like, he's, like, the worst. He's, like, the culty guy that nobody ever likes to listen to.
Just watching that episode is like, man, he kind of sucks.
Yeah. There's this, have you seen the movie Hunt for the Wilder People?
No.
You should watch it. It's on Netflix right now. Like, whenever we're done here, you should watch it. I watched it last night. It was great. And there's something called the Srux life. And it's just like, what's that? It's like, no, just being a gangster. It's like the Srux life chose me. It's like, that's Mando. The Mando life chose me, bro. But it doesn't really like him. He's not very good at it. Well, I think this was a successful episode. Definitely a great introduction to Ahsoka. I think I'd be pretty disappointed if we never got any like Luke Skywalker ties ever. Just because it feels like if he's that important, why didn't Luke find him?
Yeah.
Like, And like that's fine if like that's just something he never gets or like, but if he never shows up in like the movies, like and if he survives the show and never shows up into any kind of movie or anything like that, it'd be kind of disappointing. Be like, well, why do we watch all this stuff?
Probably do like new special editions of
There they
the
are at the
prequels and
they're in the
sequels.
cantina actually.
You just like see like episode 3 and this little baby Yoda walking by.
Yeah, he's like, hey, it's me. I'm Grogu.
I was all right, there he is. And
Yeah.
then
That'd be so funny. I'm sure he will be. And so Disney Plus just edits episode 3 and doesn't tell anybody. And someone's just watching like, what the fuck? Like, was he there the whole time? Yep. It's not on my Blu-ray. Yep, it was there the whole time, baby. You missed it, idiot.
it's like a split second, he just sticks his head out behind a chair and then goes back.
Yeah. He just steals some I don't know. He just steals some desk sticks from that guy. He thinks they look pretty good. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, get off my back, Yoda. You're not my real dad. I'm 18. I'm 21. I could smoke these, bro.
That's when the memories went dark.
Yeah, that's why there is from drug addiction. We figured it out again, guys. We're on a roll. But
Baby Yoda's an addict.
he's an addict. But I really did enjoy this episode. It's all good. I don't know how the rest of the season's going to shake up because I feel like this is the stuff I was looking forward to the most, and now it's like you just said you didn't watch Game of Thrones, but like I was looking forward to the fight with the White Walkers the most, and then like halfway through the final season, they're like, "Yeah, we got him," and I was like, "Well, then I don't care about the other stuff." That stuff that sounded like higher stakes than who's going to sit on this very uncomfortable throne. I don't give a shit about that. I want to care about the dead people coming back to life and fucking everybody's shit up. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like this, I was like, no, I care about the Jedi shit. And like, I don't really care about Moff Gideon. I know he doesn't make it. But I guess Admiral Thrawn and Gideon, what if they work together and that's what like they create the First Order or something like that? Then that would be like that's like a victory for the New Republic or whatever that they kill those guys. But they're like, oh, it'll live on. It's bigger than us. And then General Hux is like, all right, I'm gonna make Starkiller Base or whatever. Like, boom, done. Kill them all, baby.
Yeah, I could see that. Just like how they're the founding members of this new order.
And it's just like and that I think would be interesting because it'd be like, oh, so that means in this TV show they lost more than anything else. Like they would have lost, and then that's why we're back to the status quo at the beginning of the Force Awakens. But it's just not earned. It's just you watch Return of the Jedi and then this one comes out and the Force Awakens. You're like, well, what the fuck were you guys doing? I thought you guys destroyed all the shit, man. We thought that was gonna be a happy ending for everybody. It's just like,
The guy who plays Gideon said he'll be a bigger role in season 3.
oh shit. So he's like,
So
so I guess do you think the season ends with him having Baby Yoda? Because I feel like they've been winning a lot. By the end of each episode, they win. And I think after this episode, because Dave Filoni's in charge, probably a huge fan of Empire Strikes Back, at the end of the season, I feel like they have to lose.
yeah.
Because name one time where they didn't really come out victorious. Like, yeah, the Razor Crest has been beat up, and they were, they even beat him at the beginning of season 1. They thought they killed him, but no, they didn't. But I think that they won for the most part because they were just in a bar, the three of them, and they were getting pinned down by a battalion, and they got out of it. And I think that they need to lose one.
Yeah, it'll probably be like he captures them on like Mandalore, some like surprise attack or something. And then the rest of the season 3 is just them trying to get him back or while freeing Mandalore or something like that. Because I feel they're just building up to kind of going back to Mandalore and seeing real Mandalorians.
That's why, and I think that's a big part of it because you see, like, I think that's kind of where Boba Fett comes into play, not for the Mandalore
Yeah.
stuff, but just like as a contrast because he's obviously not like a true blue Mandalorian who follows all the codes and shit, but Mando is, and I think that will come, for his benefit later, kind of like how the Carson Teva stuff did, like him not wanting to kill that guy came back later and as karma, like making sure that he didn't get killed by ice spiders. So I feel like that's the kind of message that they're sending, like him sticking to his guns and being true to his word is a good thing. And so I think that eventually will lead to him having like a maybe that's not what he wants, but at least being offered like the throne of Mandalore or something like that.
Yeah, I still don't know why they included Boba Fett for that one part, so he has to come back at some point.
Yeah,
Or
like I feel like you can't just like not have him come back. I think I'd be pretty disappointed if they just like, and then he's like, here he is at the end of this season, or they waited till next season.
gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. To be like, well, then I feel like we didn't even need to know that. Like, you're just getting us hype for no reason. Or what if he's like, and I would be okay with it. They're like, yeah, this is like Commander Rex or whatever.
Yeah, I think I probably look forward to Captain Rex or something more than. But
Yeah, and he doesn't have any eyebrows. Do you think that's because of the Sarlacc pit, or is it just like does he just have very small eyebrows?
oh, probably the Sarlacc pig, 'cause I don't remember. I thought he had pretty bushy eyebrows in
Yeah, I think you're
Attack
right.
of the Clones.
I think you're right. I think he does have bushy eyebrows. So Sarlacc pit, uh, stomach acid destroys eyebrows. Not good for him now. Now we know.
Gives you alopecia.
All right, that's going to do it here for us in the live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. Michael, thank you so much for spewing about Star Wars with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
You know what? You can just come back next week. It'll be fine. I prefer doing this with somebody else.
All right, I end up watching each episode twice, anyways. I got nothing better to do.
Hell yeah. Well, I have to work until 5 o'clock typically, but I'm going to watch the shit out of it when I get out. And that's what happened today. Make sure to leave your hot takes about this episode down in the chat, even after we've gone live. We definitely love to hear whatever you have to say and tell you why you're wrong. But go ahead and like, comment, subscribe down below. Follow us on Twitter at New World Nerds. And that's going to be it for us here, baby boys. Keep it out there, true.